Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Switch to Verizon Business and get more from your internet without paying more for your internet. Get LTE Business Internet starting at $39 a month when paired with select business mobile plans. That's unlimited data, and with it, unlimited possibilities. Start saving today with Verizon Business, ranked #1 in small business internet customer satisfaction by J.D. Power. Starting price for 25 megabits per second LTE internet plan with smartphone plan savings, plus taxes, fees, and economic adjustment charge. Terms apply. For J.D. Power 2024 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
All right, I'm all packed up. Let's see. Got the roof rack, camping gear, 4 Nalgene's.
buddy.
Quite
There. Yep.
the trip. Well, I guess I'll see you guys around.
Yeah, dude. Yes, fare thee well, buddy. Have a good one.
Yeah,
Safe
okay,
travels,
no hug,
bud.
no hugs. That's fine.
No, we're
That's
good.
fine.
I think
All
we're
right, adios.
Where exactly is he going again?
Let's go to 7-Eleven. We'll be back in 15 minutes.
Yeah. Well, probably good timing because today we have a listener letter from someone going on a road trip. So it seems kind of fortuitous that this happened, but he is not well. He
Oh
is
my God, he's stopping to pee again.
Oh God! Welcome to Advice Fight.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Advice Fight. Award-winning Advice Fight. What awards? Google it. I bet there's some. My name's Adam Caton Holland.
I'm Ben Roy.
And I'm Andrew Orvidal. What is it?
You even almost mispronounced your own name.
What is it? But more importantly, who is it? We'll get into all of that on this podcast where we offer up advice in a competitive fashion.
And it's the first and only of its kind.
And again, that's not something we're willing to fact check. It is something we're willing to co-sign. We will not fact check it.
Facts
What are facts
don't
anyway?
matter anymore.
Facts are just things you say out loud.
That's what I said last episode, and I'm glad you guys are sticking with it. We're post-truth. We're post-facts. We don't need it anymore.
No, the MSM is on our back, and we are shaking it off.
The
We're
supplement?
breaking free of the chains of facts and information.
I do feel compelled to ask what MSM is because I'm lost. What is it?
I think it's something for your joints.
MSM is it's a Microsoft news provider. They provide news.
Okay.
Yes, MSM
So sometimes
news.
you just throw out acronyms in a hope of like racing down a riff road.
Microsoft Mail. Mhm.
Microsoft Mail.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay.
And that's
So
as
Bill
far as-
Gates. Bill Gates isn't a real MSM.
He's the MSM. He's Mr. MSM.
Okay.
Yeah.
Microsoft
do you know?
Mail.
Do you guys know what Bill Gates is doing?
No.
Yeah, he's fucking. You know it. You
Okay.
know.
On today's
Don't act
episode.
like you don't fucking know, Adam.
On
You know what
today's
he's doing.
episode, we have a letter from a listener who's
An overseas listener. We appreciate you.
right. Do we know where they're coming from?
We appreciate you. No,
Just
they left
overseas.
that.
We don't know.
But this is their first time coming to America. While so many people are not coming to America, and perhaps
Yeah, what a
and perhaps
time.
this listener has since altered their plans since writing this letter. But in a time where so many people are choosing not to visit America, this person's coming here for the very first time.
I mean, if you could tour Rome right before they're off the edge, it'd be, you know what I mean? It'd be like, okay, the height of Roman Empire power,
Yep.
but everyone knows they're done. They're standing on the cliff. They're drunk.
Lead levels are undrinkable in the water. They're at the peak of political discontent. The barbarian horde is out of control. That's when I want to see Rome.
Exactly.
That's when I want to see it.
Ben wants to go
Gladiator
visit
2
the
style.
vomitorium.
Yes.
I want to
Gladiator
be there
2
with
was so
Denzel.
bad.
Crazy.
Ugh.
I don't care what's going on. I'm just fucking having fun acting.
Dude, you're telling me. I want all of it. I want to know the details. I want latrines overflowing.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Bubbling.
Let the latrines overflow.
Adam cries at the Colosseum, dumping his goblet of wine on a peasant's head.
Yes.
I can see the appeal now.
Yeah, exactly. It's a debauched, depraved experience, and we're here to guide you through it. They're coming here to America. They want to know what they need to do and what they should see. Guys, have you had much road trip experience? You've been road tripping?
Wow, what a segue, Adam. You
If we're
really,
also including traveling for comedy, yeah, I mean, even not traveling for comedy, I've done plenty of road trips. My family, we only road tripped. We never took a vacation in a plane.
Oh,
No.
wow.
We packed into the Ford Econoline van, and that's how we saw America.
Is that
What was
because
one
your parents
grinding
believed
mile at a time?
Is that
What?
because your parents believed that planes were dragons?
Stop. They weren't that cool, dude, and you know it. You stop it right now.
Wait, Andrew, that makes a lot of sense. Was there anywhere you would go repeatedly, or was it always a new destination?
Sadly, Wyoming all the time because we had relatives up there.
That's not a road trip. It's like 3 hours away, dude.
Well, we went to Sheridan, and it's northern Wyoming. It's a day. It's a day.
It's a day trip. So
You drive to Sheridan, Wyoming, and tell me that's not a road trip, my friend. But we would drive to Florida every summer,
Now
all the
we're
way down to
talking.
the south.
That's a fucking road
that's the end
that-
of every road trip. Ends in Florida every time. Well, did you ever go to Disney?
Yeah, Disney World.
Oh, so your parents were okay with that too?
Yeah, somehow.
That's crazy. They didn't think.
Andrew's not taking Ben's bait today. And honestly, Andrew, I'm pretty proud of you. Because if you even relent a little bit, you know he's going to pounce. And you've put
Yeah.
up a really healthy wall. Your sessions with Dr. Pam are paying off, my friend.
Yes.
Well, I just know that for like Andrew's family, the word castle is pretty loaded. It's a loaded thing. So
It's an evil building. See, now I'm taking the bait. I'm
Yes,
taking
you
the
are.
bait.
Don't let him in. Because then he gets in, then he
Ben's
stays.
pupils are as wide as saucers. He's like a cat in front of a wiggling toy.
princess is nothing more than a female pope. We know that. And we know how Andrew's family felt about the pope.
Well, and about female popes. My God.
Oh my God. Oh my
Or
God.
as they're known in Andrew's family, witches.
And- exactly.
Ooh,
Wow.
doggy.
Yeah, we're touching the edge.
How about you two? Any road trips?
No, I didn't care for him. We just hung out in the house.
New Hampshire.
No, road trip. Definitely. My dad loved to road trip. That was like, we used to, we did it all the time. And we would go to like from Maine to like Illinois or Florida. We went to Tennessee. We went all of the most important places.
Yeah, it sounds like you hit all the all-star list of states.
Wait, I got a good diss on Ben. He did road trips all the time between his mom and his dad's separate houses.
Oh,
Actually, they only lived about a quarter of a mile apart, and I used to
It's a road
just
trip.
walk,
Still a road trip.
skateboard over. Yeah, and whenever I wanted, I could do it whenever I wanted. Adam, they didn't even care. They said that whenever I wanted, I could come over.
Because they were divorced.
No, my dad loved to road trip, and we would always, every night before we left, we would watch National Lampoon's Vacation. That
you're
was
like, let's curse this
we
trip.
would always do it. And yeah, I remember one time we were in Illinois, we were going to Six Flags over Mid-America. And we were doing the scene where they're running slowly up to Chariots of Fire, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That scene, and as we're running, my dad stops and he checks his pockets and he's like, shit. And he had locked the keys in the rental car. So there were like 6 of us. We couldn't get into the car. So we had to call a tow truck, and they fucked the door handle up on the driver's side for the rest of the road trip. My dad couldn't get into the driver's seat from the driver's side. He had to crawl into the other side of the car.
Yes.
And
Amazing.
it was pretty amazing.
I bet that was cheap to turn back into the rental car place. Yeah.
Yeah, they loved it. We brought it back. I will never forget. My dad goes, the door won't open. And he goes, huh. And then he grabs a piece of metal under the bottom of the door that had nothing to do with it. He goes, sometimes it's this. And he just ripped it off the side of the car.
Whoa.
And then he tried it and it didn't work. And he just threw the piece of metal and he goes, don't worry about it. And he drove the car off. I don't even know that guy worked there. But anyway.
Amazing.
Yeah, as soon as that guy's done, he like doesn't even get back into his car. He just walks off. You're like, who was that fucking guy?
Yeah. Oh, the last story, one time we were in Tennessee and my dad, we were looking for our hotel and he goes, holler if you see the sign for the hotel. And there were like 6 of us in this car. And I saw the sign and I got about 1.5 inches from my dad's head and went, ah, like a full scream at the top of my lungs. And my dad almost took the car off the road. Like,
Oh
and
my
he was
God.
like, what was that? And I was like, there's a sign. It's right there. And I said, you said to holler it. It was like a total
Right.
kids move, but I almost killed the
Evil.
whole family. So
Ron,
Hilarious.
could you insert a little bit of Ace of Base? I saw the sign.
Thank you. Thank you.
what about you, Adam? Did you go on? Oh, yeah, it feels like you guys didn't, like that was not,
Was it beneath you?
yeah.
Such.
I mean, did you guys road trip through Uruguay or on the Mongolian steppe?
Did you drive down the Mongolian
well,
steppes?
Actually, when we were in Mongolia, we drove great distances in Land Rovers. As you know, Mongolia is a huge area. Not
Yep.
a lot of stuff between cities. The only way to get around is drive.
Of course.
But no, we didn't go on a ton of road trips growing up. True to form, we mostly we go to Virginia a lot. That was where my mom was from, and we would fly out there. But I remember a road trip vividly. I've talked a lot about the summer where my sister skated with Nancy Kerrigan's coach out in Cape Cod. And so that we had to move shit out there. So I remember my dad and I drove. My mom took my 2 sisters and flew out there. And my dad and I took the dog and all the shit we needed in our Mazda MPV minivan. And we just ripped that thing across the country. It was I loved it. It was so much fun. I remember my dad was listening. We just had like a cassette of Otis Redding live in Europe. And we just listened to that over and over and over and over and over again.
That's a great fucking album.
Great album. And it was cool. We went to like a minor league baseball game. We went to the Baseball Hall of Fame, went to Cooperstown, New York. It was a great trip. I loved it. But I think it was easy because it was just the 2 of us. My dad's pretty easygoing, no bickering with siblings. We had a lot of ground to cover, but it was like every night we'd try to do something kind of fun to like make it worth it. It was cool.
My dad did that when I was 16 or 17. I was about to graduate high school, actually. I was 17. He had a business meeting in Atlanta, and he was like, what say you and I drive down to Atlanta, son? And then we'll continue on. We'll spend a couple days at Disney World, and we'll stay in a hotel. And as a bonding moment, but I was peak burnout by that time.
Yeah.
And we got down to Florida. I met a girl at the hotel, ended up spending the entire time with her.
Oh my
And
God.
every night
Your
my dad
poor
would be,
dad.
I'd roll in at like 3:30 in the morning after hanging out like around the hotel and area with this girl. And then we got back and then her boyfriend proceeded to harass and threaten to kill me because he
Jesus
found
Christ.
out. Yeah.
Well, son, it was a good trip. I'm glad we got to spend this time together.
So was your dad going to Disney alone while you were just hanging
Yeah, but what he
out with
got
somebody
was a
else?
bleary-eyed, half-stoned, fucking 17-year-old kid he's dragging through the heat who was like, just want to get back to the hotel and see that girl again. And I just hung up with this chick.
Oh
the
my
whole time.
God, your poor dad.
And then come to find out, we traded numbers, got back, she had a boyfriend, and I started getting harassing phone calls where he was like, I'm going to fucking kill you.
Well, you better drive up to Maine, dick face.
Full jerky boys.
yeah.
It was pretty amazing.
I know how
My
a
dad,
17-year-old boy talks.
that was the last road trip we ever took together.
Oh my God, what a disaster. Do you still have her number, Ben? You should hit her up now.
Hit her up now.
She lives in Toronto. She was Canadian. That was even
Oh,
better.
see, you already know too much about her.
Yeah. Oh, I've kept track.
Hey, man, that's an exit strategy. We all need one at this point. But this is not about exit strategies. It's about our friend entering the United States
Yeah.
and touring around. We need to read the letter. I feel
I am qualified for this letter because, as you both know, I entered Canada on that trip, if you know what I'm talking about. So
Okay.
I love that
Okay.
Ben had a fake Canadian girlfriend. It's all coming together.
You wouldn't know her. She lives in Toronto.
it wasn't real. I was just masturbating in the shallow end of the pool to all hours of the night.
God. Ew. Ew.
I like it because anybody could have said in the bathroom. But then took it to the shallow end
Yeah.
of the pool.
Ben went down
Not
into
even
the
the
pool.
deep end. I want the
No,
I want the
where,
area.
like the kids are.
Second,
Yeah.
I want
Hard
second
to
floor
hide.
balcony to be able to see what I'm doing.
I think you're ready to read, Ben. You've been working. You've been hooked on those phonics.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, let me just get
If you fuck up even one word,
Pounds
you lose
ever.
your reading privileges for months.
let me just get a sip of my water.
Cool Foley sip work, dude.
Ironically, that's the exact same sound of him masturbating in the shallow end.
They heard it all night. They're like, is there a pool filter that's
I think there's
failing?
a pump broken somewhere.
Your dad's just trying to sleep, just crying into his pillow.
me in the shallow end trying to S my own D at a Red Roof Inn.
Half drowning.
It was a Red
You're
Roof
waterboarding
Inn.
yourself.
He's taking in so much fucking water.
Yeah.
Get out of the pool.
I hope my dad listens to that episode because that trip was so fucking funny.
I'm sure he's like, he hated it so much. He
Oh, I can guarantee that was.
We did have some fun, but yeah, I was definitely peak teen years. So
yeah.
All right, well, let's get to our letter. I'll read it for sure.
Oh boy.
Just a second. Hilo.
One word, you're done.
Hello, hot Grolix boy. It's coming
Listening?
to me
Hold
now.
on. I'm listening. Hello, hot dogs. Boys. What a way to start.
Started it off
Love it.
right.
Yep.
I'm
Mhm.
coming to America this summer for the first time ever. Haven't booked flights yet, but I will soon.
Mm.
The summer
Oh,
is
no I. There's no I.
Yeah,
Sorry.
well,
You
the-
added a word that wasn't there.
It's also, I mean, almost summer. You should get your flights if you're coming from out of the country. I want to rent a car, drive the open road, see as much as I can, take it all in. You know, work's given me 12 days off. Not a bad amount.
No.
With weekends, make 16 days. I've got 2 weeks on the road, just me and my hair.
I love that.
Yeah, that's great. This is actually poetic. Can you give me advice on a most epic road trip in America? Must be a loop, mustn't bankrupt me fiscally or morally. I already am at that. Mar D. P.S. I'm single and ready to mingle if that matters. Okay, so we don't know. They called us hot boys. Could be, we draw a lot of attention from all genders. So this could be anybody. So we're gonna have to stay pretty neutral on assigning this person a gender. I don't know. We don't know where they're from.
We know their name is Mar, which is Spanish for the sea.
Oh, okay.
So
CD.
that's probably a clue.
But no, it also
Maybe
could
they're-
be Marty. M-A-R-D. Marty.
M-A-R capital
It could
D.
be-
Marty.
Could be Michael J.
No.
Fox.
This
being a
could be-
character
This
as
Encyclopedia
Marty
Browning
McFly.
could also we could do later, but let's take a break. Let's take a quick break
I'm gonna work on this name origin over the break.
to pay some bills. If you're on Patreon, you can get an ad-free feed, and when we come back, we're gonna have some competitive advice for Mar D, if that even is your real name.
Right?
And only one of us can win. Only one of us has the most epic road trip in
This is
mind
where
for you.
where it gets tense.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for this day.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? Well, with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills. Wait, did I say job title yet? Get started today and see how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
We are back, everyone. It is Act 2 of what I'm just declaring is the road trip challenge. This is a road trip challenge.
Wow. So I like how you can just take the letter and you come up.
RTC. Welcome to it.
Perfect.
Road trip challenge. Our letter writer needs to know how to best explore America. They're single. They're ready to mingle. They've got great hair, I assume. And they don't want to be bankrupted morally or fiscally, but I think a little of each wouldn't hurt anything.
No.
I'm not going to give anything away here.
They're looking for a 16-day loop. It's got to be a loop.
And that's very specific. Like, what are we, triple fucking A over here? Like, I don't know. Google it. You don't, okay, but that's not what they didn't Google it.
Wow. What's this vitriol for the letter writer?
The fact that I have to make it a loop, that I have to make America interesting to you.
I like that it's a little additional challenge.
It's fine. We all have our hang-ups, and you know that geography's not my strongest suit. I don't know where 13 of the states are, but I'm willing to play the game. I won last challenge.
It's such a specific number.
With cork it or crank
The
it.
original 13 colonies, I never learned. I'm not into America 1.0. I like the new stuff.
The New Testament of the USA. That's
100%.
Only the stuff that we took from Mexico I'm into.
Absolutely. Once it got out west, I was like,
he
now
only
we're
acknowledges the Southwest is really funny as the true United States.
Yeah, I'm an original 13 colonies denier. I don't even believe they happened.
All right.
So I won last challenge, and that means I get to choose the order of things while going last. Damn. I want to put Andrew on the spot. He's so high on the loop. Let's see it, loop boy. Let's land this fucking rental car in a perfect circle, man. I want to see how you get it done.
Land a rental car in a perfect circle. Adam knows cars especially, which is...
Fly that rental car, land it in a perfect circle, my man. And gas it up, or you're going to get a big ding when you get the bill at the end if they have to put in the gas. So gas that rental car up before you land it on the runway of life, my friend.
All right. Somebody set me up.
Okay, so once again, the rules, Andrew's going to get 3 minutes. When he gets down to his last minute, he's going to hear this sound. And then when he's done, that's it. When all three of us have given our advice, we'll each vote. You can't vote for yourself. In the event of a tie, producer Ron has to be exhumed to break the tie, and we know what BS that is. We saw that last episode, and it was garbage, and it made no sense. And we now know that producer Ron plays the game as well, and he doesn't pick the best advice.
Nope.
He plays the game. So he's another X factor in this. So, Andrew, you are first. You are getting into the Toctagon. Are you ready, Andrew? Are you ready to go?
I'm ready to rock, baby.
All right, here we go. Road trip challenge. Where did we go? A loop, 2-week loop. 3, 2, 1. Advice.
All right. This is an easy one for me because between road trips and driving for stand-up, because that's the mode of travel my career has usually afforded me, is the driving to shows. There was only one road trip that immediately came to mind. You can fly into one of two cities for this road trip. You can either fly into Los Angeles or you can fly into Portland, Oregon. I recommend Portland. Your flights are probably going to be a bit cheaper. Portland's one of America's very best cities. It's a great city. And then you're going to drive a loop from Portland to Los Angeles. You get to go down through Oregon. It's part of the longest continuous rainforest in the world. So you get to drive down through that. You're going to drive through the Redwood Forest, one of nature's wonders. You get to see these insane, huge trees. You're going to drive through Napa and wine country and these hills.
You're gonna take them through wine country.
These beautiful, yeah. Because let me tell you right now, I paid attention. I paid attention to your letter. P.S. I'm single and ready to mingle if that matters. Well, here's your pit stop. Welcome to wine country. Everyone in wine country has brought their freshly divorced friend who is hammered off a day of sampling Pinot Grigios,
day drunk
stumbling
with
around.
You stop encouraging
You're
this,
not,
Adam.
you're not going to need to be as romantic as Ben in a Red Roof Inn when you are in wine country as a single person. You will you will have no problem hooking up in wine country, my friend. And you're from overseas. Doesn't matter where you're from. You're overseas. What a catch. What a catch for all of these wine country divorcees. Then you can continue on. Down into California. You'll drive through some farmland. Not that exciting, but you're going to be hungover anyway.
1 minute left. Get done
after
your
wine
stupid
country.
fucking story.
And then you go to Los Angeles. But since it's a loop, when you are in California, you could choose in one direction, you could drive on the 5 to the farmland. On the other direction, you could drive on the Pacific Coast Highway, the one which winds its way all the way up the coast. It's an amazing drive.
This triptych is
beautiful,
getting faster at the end.
Full of
Just someone's accelerating as they're getting this. They're going 80,
of
90, 100.
of hairpin turns. I don't know if you have it in your budget for a sporty car, but it's worth it for this loop. Give you and your hair the gift of a sporty rental car because you're going to want it when you're driving on the Pacific Coast Highway. That's the loop. That's my time.
Wow.
I don't think we ever tell people that we record early in the morning, but sometimes one of our advice is so bad you can just tell.
That wasn't bad advice. That was the best fucking road trip loop in America, and you know it. And now you're shellacked. You're stunned.
Am I?
Yeah, where are you going to take them? Little Rock, Arkansas? Where are they going to drive now? I just took the best
I'm taking them to a
fucking
town
loop
called Hope, Arkansas, so they can see
in
Bill Clinton's
America.
birthhouse. That's right. Bill Clinton's birthhouse. U.S. President Bill Clinton? The house he was birthed?
Wasn't he alive in hospital times?
A little town called Hope. Play the saxophone, you asshole. Learn about it.
Well, Andrew, that was a great choice. It was only part of the choice, but it was a great choice. And I think what you managed to do there was basically get them drunk. You got them drunk in wine country.
Drinking was optional. I got them hooked up in wine
And
country.
now they've got the Napa clap, which you know is especially clinging.
Nap clap.
the Napa clap.
Napa clap. And now they're on their way up PCH, burning urination. There's very few rest stops on the PCH.
It's got to be called Nap Clap or Napa Clappa. I won't accept either unless it's one of those two terms. I won't.
Either way,
accept it.
talk to your doctor about it in the silliest terms possible.
I like the Napa clappa. I think that works really well.
I mean, if you're gonna get the Napa Clappa, there's worse places to endure it than Big Sur, California.
Sure.
Watching the ocean mist off of a cliff, you're gonna forget that venereal disease immediately.
All right. Well, Andrew called it.
All right, Ben, you're next. Get into the Toctagon. Get
I don't
in
want to
there.
get in there.
Get
I don't
in
wanna,
there.
I got my shoes on. I still got my shoes on.
I'm stuffing you through the Toctagon's window instead of the door.
And I'm shooing him in there with a broom.
You've got to get your shoes off when you're on the mat. Okay.
All right, Ben.
I'm
3,
there.
2, 1. Advice.
So, Andrew, I believe, and I'm going to give actual advice here. I believe Andrew started the route off fine. It's fine. Here's what I would do. I would fly into San Diego, California.
A stone's throw from Los Angeles.
2 hours south.
Visit
Okay.
Blink 182's first venues they performed at.
Exactly. You can hit up all the best venues in
Get it.
Yep. And then make sure to see a show at the Casbah in San Diego. But anyway, then what you're going to do is you're going to head north. You're going to take the 5 to LA, then you're going to get on the PCH, and you are going to drive the PCH all the way up to Portland. Where Andrew screwed up is if you're coming to the US, you want to see all we have to offer. You want to see the incredible biodiversity and the changes in landscape. So then once you get to Portland, you are going to head east through Idaho. Then you are going to come through, you're going to come up top through Wyoming, and you're going to cut through the Rocky Mountains down south. You're going to go south. Then you're going to end up in Utah. You're going to go through Moab because you got to see Moab, and you've got to see Zion National Park. So you start coming down through there. Then you're going to hit the Grand Canyon. Now you're in the American Southwest. Right now, what you have seen are beaches. You've seen these beautiful, lustful, deciduous forests. Where you can stop in Eureka.
Ben's horny again, and it's sad, Adam.
You can stop in Eureka and nail a Yeti. You can nail a Yeti.
Like, fuck one or hit one with your car?
Both.
Okay.
If you choose, it's how you feel that day.
It's how the Yeti feels.
And you could
It's like
you
Yetis
could
in
hook up
Eureka.
with fucking Humboldt County Wookiees. You'll figure out what
Fish
they
fans
are.
or Wookiees?
Yeah, fish fans, the Wooks.
Got it.
Yep. And then you're going to come down through, and you're going to come down through. You won't even believe Idaho. Eastern Oregon is beautiful. Idaho is beautiful.
Fucking talking. You're gonna have to join a fucking
No, you
like
won't.
cult.
No, we've
out
done
there.
this. We've done this. Then you go through. You go now through the Rocky Mountains. You get to the American Southwest. You got to see our Grand Canyon. It's the grandest of canyons.
Hole in the ground.
And then
Promise keeper.
you're gonna head down, and then from the Grand Canyon, it's a quick 6 or 7 hour shot back down to San Diego. That is the loop where you get to see the United States and all of its diversity and landscape, and you can stay at some pretty inexpensive places along the way. I would also recommend turning off your highways and going only back roads the whole time you're doing it. That's my advice, and I'm sticking to it time.
Wow, cool catchphrase. Any advice that tells someone to go through Wyoming is deeply unserious.
Don't forget Idaho
Yeah.
and Eastern Washington.
Wyoming is like Mordor. Absolutely do not drive through
You're an
Wyoming.
asshole.
It is the most
I'm sorry.
wind blasted,
the Grand
fucked
Teton,
up
the Grand Tetons,
scrubland.
the Grand
Okay, if you want to
Tetons.
go up to the farthest northwest tip of Wyoming,
that's where you're going to be.
where Yellowstone is, and
asshole,
you're
'cause
nipping
coming from
through.
Idaho. You've never driven through that area. Been on tour through.
What are you
with the
talking
band.
about? I've never driven through that area. I've driven through that area so
That's
many
what I'm
times.
fucking talking about. He's coming from the northwest, so he
You're
can
going to send
cut
them into
through the-
Idaho, so what? They can maybe never leave again because they get accused of taking a 13-year-old to go get an abortion and they get locked up in prison. Don't drive into Idaho. Idaho is one of the reasons
Boise
you
is
never
one of the
want to
best
come to
cities
America.
in the United
Don't
States.
go to Idaho.
Boise, Idaho
Don't go to
is
Idaho.
a fantastic city.
Don't go to
If I had to
Wyoming.
choose between New York or Boise, it's
Even
definitely Boise.
producer Ron is nodding his head. The problem
Sure,
is
Boise's
here's
a
the-
cool city. You gotta drive through Idaho
here's
to
the
get
problem
there.
You're not taking into account is that if you go to the East Coast, you are not getting biodiversity. You are not getting landscape and geographic diversity. When you come out west, you are getting forests, you are getting mountains, you are getting beaches, you are getting desert landscape. You are getting all the best.
And a secret inner ocean.
Mm.
Adam, I don't know what you're on this morning.
I gotta warn this listener. Does Utah have some amazing landscapes? Yeah, Moab is cool.
Edward Abbey country.
There are some almost alien landscapes, but I'll tell you what: the State Patrol in Utah is so fucking horny
I've been
to
pulled
pull you
over in
over.
Utah.
I have been pulled over in Utah so many times.
We've all
and
been pulled over in Utah. It's not a big fucking deal, dude.
if they find out that you're not from the U.S., if they pick up your accent, then you better be prepared for an extended stop. They're probably going to get you out of the car. They can like search all your shit. They'll have all your stuff over on the side of the road. I'm
You
just
can-
saying, put an asterisk
listener,
next to Utah.
Mardy,
Put an
listener,
asterisk.
you can
next
marry
to
more
Utah.
than one person in Utah. So think about that.
Also, I'm disappointed, Ben, that your advice didn't really help them being
Why,
single
if
and ready
it's
to
not a
mingle.
progressive state, why can you marry like 18 people at one time? If it's not progressive, answer that. That seems pretty progressive. That's a
Man
molecule.
can marry 18 women. It's that level of progressive.
Okay, Andrew, you're just jealous because you got it half wrong.
Oh, no. I kept him on the right track, and I gave him days in their locations.
You basically showed them 1/7 of the United States. I'm giving them,
The best seventh. I crystallized it.
well, that's not true at all. You're missing
is.
the Grand Canyon in the American Southwest.
Buy a calendar. You'll get the point. All right, Adam, it's your turn. Get ready to
I can
give
see
some
where Adam's
advice.
going. He's going to take him on a tour of Wesleyan.
It's only that. It's a road
You can see
trip
all of
around
Connecticut in 16 days.
around campus.
You can see all of Connecticut in 16 days.
You just take him
Every highway in
I don't want to
Connecticut.
interrupt. Get it in, get your,
All
because
right.
Adam's on fire this morning and he's weird.
All right, here we go.
Get him in the
All right,
talk to
Adam,
God.
get ready. 3, 2, 1. Advice.
I like the start of both of your road trips because, like a broken clock, occasionally you two are correct. But here's the thing. You don't need San Diego. You don't need Los Angeles. You start in San Francisco, my friend. Fly in there. There's a lot of international flights. Unlike fucking Portland, Andrew says start there. Oh, Andrew, tell me about all the international flights that land in Portland. Tell me about how Mardy is going to get. Tell me how they're going to land from anywhere in the world in Portland, Andrew. Stop it.
Do you
But
see how
Whatever, they fly into
SFO,
Seattle.
my
do you
friend.
guys see how Andrew freezes up when Adam comes at him, but when I come at him, he gets
SFO.
combative.
Anywhere in the world flies to SFO. So you start there. San Francisco is a jewel of the United States. I've often referred to it as the Barcelona of the United States.
You have, and you've been punched in the face several times for calling.
Because you'll be stunned by these views as you crest a hill, just like you do in Barcelona.
They have shanty towns in the shadow of tech skyscrapers
Shoot
in
up
Barcelona.
Northern California, the best part of Northern California, just like the boys said. Go to Portland, Oregon, just like the boys said. But then, because you are single and ready to mingle, shoot on up to Seattle. There's certain cities in America that go absolutely fucking nuts during summer because they have rain nonstop. But suddenly, for 3 months, it's sun time. And that means it's fuck time. And a foreigner like you with a cool accent coming into Seattle full of all these fucking single people, you can just bang your way through Seattle 2 or 3 days, whatever your budget is, and then head inland and get out of Washington as quickly as you can and get over to Yellowstone National Park. Now's when you really need to start seeing what America has to offer.
Oh,
our
are you
national
taking
parks.
Adam? Are you taking them into Wyoming?
I'm going to Yellowstone. I'm not dipping down into blazing hot Utah. I'm going to Yellowstone National Park, and you can go to Glacier National. Go to Glacier National Park on the way. Then you got to shoot across South Dakota, which sucks, but you can maybe go to Badland National Park. End your trip. It's not a loop, but it's a good way to fly out in Chicago. Chicago is another city that loses its mind in the summer, which means they like to fuck. Taking a game at Wrigley Field, one of the oldest baseball stadiums in the U.S. I can't think of anything more American than that. Check it out. Enjoy Chicago and fly on out. If you have an extra day, go to Minneapolis. Hell of an underrated city.
Cool loop, and then they turn around and go
No,
back.
I'm not saying you need to loop because some
They
people
said it must
you broke
be a
the
loop.
it mustn't loop. You can just fly in and out. That's fine.
No, it's
Their letter literally
literally
states
says
must be a loop.
Marty, no offense, you haven't been here before. Things don't need to be loops like they always are in your country. In America, sometimes we're cool with lines. Sometimes we're cool with lines in America.
He's
and maybe in
he's
America
way
needs
over
to tell
time,
you
Ron.
that.
You can try to stop him, but he's way over time. You can keep.
It's cheaper. Nope.
You can
Fly into
keep it-
SFO, fly out of Chicago.
The problem
Thank
is
me
he
for it.
ignores the
Cancel
alarm.
the loop.
He ignores the alarm.
It doesn't have to be a perfect circle all the fucking time.
You're the one who just used the circle thing for the
This is
landing
also
the car.
what the person said the idea was beyond.
Oh, they know what they need? They wrote us because they don't know what they need. When I go to a foreign country,
When I go,
I listen to what the people say. I ask them, hey, what do I do around here? And I listen. And I listen. I don't go in with my preconceived notion of like, sorry, I can't deviate from this plan. I do what they tell me.
well, Adam ran
What?
the light. No, you ran the light. You ran
Well,
it.
maybe you guys didn't actually police me enough. Maybe you didn't time it
Oh,
well.
that's our
I
fault.
gave you the light, and you're a professional comedian. When you see the light, you know
got
what it
5
means.
more minutes.
No.
That part does track, Andrew. That is correct. Well, why don't we do this? We're going to take a quick break. We're going to pay a couple more bills here. Unless you are on Patreon, we're just going to skip you right ahead. By the way, check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/Garlic Saves. Thank you to everybody who already supports us. And we even have brand new stickers. They're rad. Andrew made some stickers. They're beautiful. And they're for people who come in at the Andrew and Ben level. Andrew drew those like Peanuts one. Ron had them printed. They're beautiful.
Well,
So-
I wouldn't call it drawing a Peanuts one. I would just say it's a cartoon. I certainly wouldn't associate it with any well-known litigious brand.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Well, anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have the results of this one, and I think it's going to be close. So stay tuned.
The new McCrispy Strip is here. Dip approved by ketchup, tangy barbecue, honey mustard, Sprite, McFlurry, Big Mac sauce, double dipped in buffalo and ranch, more ranch, and creamy chili McCrispy Strip Dip. Now at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Okay, and we are back. Oh, Act 3, third actors, you are here. You missed a doozy of an Act 1 and 2. And just to kind of recap, we had a listener letter, someone who's coming to the U.S., They have about 16 days, but there's going to be a day of adjustment on either end. So
They have
really,
hair they want to fuck.
2 weeks, they have hair. They want to get down. Their hair
Have
is
hair will
amazing.
fuck.
And
Have
they
hair will
want
fuck.
to
That's
do a
the bumper
loop
sticker.
and see as much as they can. And one thing we all agreed upon here is that you should start in the American West.
Yes.
I think
West Coast.
the West Coast, the reason I think we all agree is that you're going to get a bigger diversity of landscape and some really incredible cities in there.
And more open-minded people, not the cloistered, old school East Coast, stuck in their ways assholes.
Where Adam was educated.
No, we just lost
So
1/3 of America. Thanks, Adam.
I don't even believe those states ever existed.
the
They were
East
our
Coast,
first states.
I think we can all agree, like just real quick to the person listening, there are great cities on the East Coast.
Name one. New York City. I forgot.
But Ben is from the East Coast and didn't answer.
Savannah, Georgia is really pretty.
Narragansett, Rhode Island.
Naries, you want to go fucking.
No, I love the East Coast.
I do too.
I think this road trip, starting out west, makes more sense.
It does make sense. I think the reason why is that the East Coast, you're going to see a lot of a very similar type of landscape. I think is the
It's
reason.
also the
for me.
American West is the mythos of the road trip. It's
Exactly.
on the road.
You're gonna
it's
get
people
those-
going west to check out the giant expanses of the United States.
And that's where you're going to feel it is in states like Wyoming, which I think
Oh,
when you,
you'll feel it in your fucking bones, my friend. You'll feel a hollow in your soul you didn't know was there.
but here's where we disagreed is where the loop should go. So Andrews
we
was
disagreed on the concept of loops.
Andrews
That's
said you
true.
could start in Portland or Los Angeles and do a big loop down
And
from
just
one
loop
to
'em.
the other and then
Mhm.
back up the PCH or back down the PCH. I expanded on that loop. I said you should come into San Diego and you should do a giant circle up to Portland, Oregon, over to Wyoming, to the Tetons and whatnot, down through Utah to the Grand Canyon and back to San Diego. And then Adam ignored the listeners.
Ignored the loop.
loop, and he started in Central California. So around San
So they could
Francisco.
fly into an airport that would have a flight for them.
And then drive.
Oh, LAX. You can't find LAX.
Drive-
You didn't say
internationally.
that, Andrew.
I said you can find either city. I said
And then
you can find
drive
either
more.
city.
You said, in fact, go to Portland. So that's the one that
I
you
just said that
actually
Portland
chose.
is the better city.
Drive north to Seattle and then east to wherever. He didn't even really give an example. Chicago or,
Wait, no,
or
I
Minneapolis.
fixed it. I thought he was talking about the loop in Chicago, the downtown Chicago.
Oh
loop.
yes, the loop.
So when he said must be a loop, I thought he meant must be the loop.
Yep.
So that's why. I
Also,
ended it
I'm
in
not going to take
Chicago.
this besmirchment of PDX. I just looked it up. I knew PDX was an international
There we
airport.
go.
They fly to Amsterdam, Netherlands, Tokyo, Japan, Frankfurt.
Hey, Andrew, Amsterdam is the Netherlands.
Shut up.
So don't try to fucking act global now.
I just double on each one. Reykjavik, Iceland.
You could go to Paris. You could go to France. You could. All right.
They fly internationally
Montreal,
to
Canada.
PDX.
Okay,
so
so
nice try.
we
That-
already-
At the magnitude.
that criticism
At
is
the
struck
magnitude they
from
fly into
the
SFO,
record.
Andrew. At the magnitude.
They fight so
Do
rarely.
you and me need to do a fourth
Ron,
act
could
where
you
we
pass
count
the popcorn,
international
please?
flights between
No,
SFO and
because we don't
PDX?
need to. Because if there are any, then my point stands.
No, your point does not stand.
It does
Ease
stand.
Of travel.
It does
No,
stand.
you're a
It
whore.
does
You're
stand.
you're a Portland whore.
Wow.
Proud of it. Out and proud Portland horror.
Andrew, could you make
What?
fun of the fact that Adam is a lot shorter in person? Like people do that part too. Throw that in there. Do that part where you
I'm
talk
just
about how
not even.
you're like shorter than people think you are on television.
People remark about it all the time.
Oh,
it's like the Tom
shit.
Cruise effect.
Adam, where did he come up with that? That's crazy. And
Yeah,
Adam,
good
you
stuff.
can now make fun of how Andrew's old and that his hearing is going.
I don't want to.
You do that part.
Okay, that's a legal disability. All right.
Weird.
Yeah, look at the puppet master over here. at
Master
work.
of puppets. All right.
Well, we have our advice. We
Yeah.
have our advice. Also, and as an addendum, P.S. I'm single and ready to mingle. Who would dress this best. I told them to stop off in Wine Country, original
so they
home
can get the Napa
of the
Clapper.
horny divorcee.
We already determined that.
Ben sort of addressed this. He said something about hooking up with a Yeti or something. I don't know. Ben's
hooking up
was
with
woefully
Wooks.
short.
Humboldt County Wooks.
Sure, Humboldt County Wooks. Right.
Yeah,
got it. And then Adam
freewheeling
had recommendations to go to Seattle and Chicago,
to go to major American metropolises.
I'm just saying you didn't address it.
Yeah, which is very. I would argue if we're gonna have to do another Act 4, we could get the fuck numbers between Sonoma and Seattle and Chicago in the summer, and I guarantee
what I gave it.
Sonoma smokes those cities
numbers.
For pure
you want to talk
fuck
about
numbers?
Fuck numbers.
For pure fuck numbers.
You could get
population alone, my man.
Southern California beach person that is waxed from fucking cleft to clit. All right, they're gonna be fucking
You're so gross.
Yeah, nobody ruins an idea like Ben.
Now you head to Northern California and you hook up and spend 3 days with an unvaxxed hairy Wookiee, right? And then you're gonna head west and you get yourself a real problematic cow person, like a person.
You can't add this to your advice.
And
you already gave your advice.
And then you're gonna head down to the Salton Sea and you're gonna get yourself somebody who's been living in the apocalypse for a long time, and they don't really know much about what's happening.
You're advised to strike anything that Ben said after his advice. Please do
Marty
not take this into the deliberation.
He already gave the advice.
We don't know Marty's gender, so we don't know their sexual orientation. But I think on my road trip, 3,400 miles of smorgasbord.
Some of the most barren wasteland you've ever laid eyes on.
Barren wasteland
stuff.
Shut up.
All right, it's time to vote. We can't vote for ourselves again, unfortunately, because goddamn it.
Wait, I want to say one more thing. Blues Brothers, maybe one of the iconic American films. It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark and we're wearing sunglasses. You end your road trip in Chicago like an American.
Let's just vote. I can't do this anymore.
That actually helped my vote.
Yeah.
So thank you, Adam.
Andrew,
you end the Blues Brothers style.
Andrew.
Chicago.
All right, I got to vote first. And again, if you're listening, this is competitive advice. Sure, we want to help Mardi and their beautiful quaff
Who doesn't?
Tour America.
Who doesn't want to help Mardi, thirsty Mardi, get laid?
Yeah. Exactly.
In the United States.
Or at least a little hands play.
By the way, we call them rubbers here. They're not called condoms. They're not called profiles. We call them rubbers.
Yeah.
You got a rubber? So there could be only one. And it is close. It is close in our standing. So every vote, every episode win is crucial. It is important. I didn't like that Ben's advice took you east, Mardi. Are there landscapes over there that are beautiful and iconic? Yeah, but you are driving through some absolute shithole spaces
that is
to
not
get
true
there.
at all.
You are driving through places where you're like, if I break down,
Andrew.
I will get disappeared here. I will never be seen again here, and no one will give a fuck. That's the vibe that you're gonna find in rural Idaho. Shut the fuck up.
Idaho
I've been
is
up there so many times.
beautiful.
So many times.
Beautiful. And Boise is a great city.
Yeah, Boise is the gem of Idaho, a massive state. And I was on board with Adam's device until Adam also turned east and had you also driving through these same areas. So I have the same gripe with both of these. But why I'm voting for Ben, two reasons. One, he does take you down through Utah.
No,
he does take you down to Utah. And he gives you a loop, which is what you specifically wanted. And I respect the loop because I have rented a car and returned it at a different destination and seen the price difference. I get it, Mardi. I understand why you need it to be a loop. You got to return that rental car there. Also, Ben's loop, he didn't highlight this, but I will also highlight this for you. Ben's Loop does take you through Las Vegas, which is an absolute spectacle of a city. You may love or hate it, but driving through it and like seeing it, it's a spectacle.
It's not.
It is like a unique thing that you can see on your way through the Southwest.
No one needs to go to Las
Vegas. You don't have to stop.
Okay.
So
Andrew voted
but it is
for me.
something interesting. So I'm voting for Ben.
Okay.
Ben, it's your turn.
Something.
This is tough.
It's something. Las Vegas is something interesting. Okay.
I am going.
You don't think Las Vegas is something interesting for someone from another country might be interested in seeing?
Yeah,
No,
I
I'm
mean,
sure
you
they
should
have a
see Las
horrid-
Vegas.
There's a
Garage
pyramid.
casino
There's a pyramid
strip
that shoots
somewhere.
light up into space, dude.
I mean, you should see Las Vegas. It truly is insane. It's insane. It doesn't make any sense. And but
Also, they can't make it to the East Coast, but they can see the New York casino. That's the same thing.
So maybe they should have just flown to Las Vegas.
and by the way,
Period.
if you
16 days in Vegas.
if you've never been to Paris, Marty, you can check that
There's
off
Paris.
the list of Las
Paris
Vegas.
is there.
I'm sad one of us didn't figure out this hack. They can
If
see
you've
all
never
of
been to
America.
a
Have you never been to
circus?
Venice? Have you never been to Venice? You
You
can
know what?
go
Just
there
fly to
too.
Minneapolis and go to the Mall of America for 16 days.
Have you never been to Treasure Island?
Okay, I'm
Right.
going to vote. Listen, Marty, if you ever get a chance, there's a couple things I do agree with from Adam. One, Seattle be fucking.
Right?
That is true. Seattle be fucking in the summer. And two, Chicago should be on the list of great international cities.
And Chicago in the summer, pure magic. man.
And definitely top city in the United States. It's fucking great. And
It is.
yeah, right on the lake. There's just a lot happening in Chicago. The problem is Adam did not adhere to the loop, and we
Again.
listened to our
Again,
listeners.
this is going to be famous in the lore of Advice Fight. I thought he was referencing the Chicago Loop. And so how can you really judge me when I literally landed him exactly where I thought he was asking to end the trip?
Must be a loop.
It
That's
must
true.
be.
They didn't say it's not the Chicago
The trip
loop.
ends in a loop.
So, Adam, I have to say bye-bye here to you.
Don't say it like that.
The
Then just put his
toes.
toes up to the camera.
He waved goodbye with his
Bye-bye.
toes.
So, Andrew, I'm going to vote for you because while I think you gave them a hangnail on the thumb of United States as a place to see, and not saying that Andrew's Drive is not beautiful, I do think you're going to get a lot in that area, and you should see the redwoods because that's some of the most beautiful forests. I mean, I've never seen anything like that.
One of a kind.
Yes.
One of a kind.
It's truly a wonder of the world, and you should see that, and that will take you through it. So my vote is for Andrew on this one because he adhered to the loop.
Thank you. And I gave you time in each city for these new romances to blossom.
Oh, by the way, yeah, you're going to have so much time because that's not going to come anywhere close to covering 2 weeks.
Oh, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
So tired of watching you guys 69 on this podcast.
You don't have to watch. You could just leave us to it. You fucking cuck.
Fine. Ron? Will you please put in a door shutting and me walking out upstairs?
Adam can't watch this 6.
Ron, remove my folding chair. I don't want to watch this anymore.
All right, Adam, you're up.
If you think I'm going to roll over and vote for either one of you, you're so stupid.
But and yet you have to. And yet you have
I'm
to.
cornered into giving one of you guys a victory. I hate this. I truly do. But you're Portland fucking poking of me, Andrew.
Portland International Airport poking? That one?
You went at the wasp's nest, and now you're getting stung.
Damn, that sounds.
And what I like about Ben's trip is that, again, I very much tried to give Marty the Chicago loop that I thought he was asking for. So I think I really get the sort of like honorary.
That's a
victory
Ben
here.
caliber lie, and I thought that you were
Ben's
above that,
loop
Adam.
was the best loop. Yeah, and that Grand Canyon ending is a pretty iconic. See you later, back to San Diego, and I'm out. So like kind of leaving on a very geographic marvel like the Grand Canyon is a nice loop. And I think it's probably the most doable loop, even though, again, I really thought it was asking for the Chicago loop. I vote for Ben for best
Oh my
loop.
fucking
Best
God.
loop.
I broke my slump. Oh my God, I won. I fucking won one. I fucking won one. I fucking won. You guys are so fucking stupid.
And I don't even
won.
know if Ben was being like psychological or Machiavellian or trying to like whatever. but he wasn't outwardly mean today. And you were, Andrew. You were
I was mean
today.
for
You were
sticking up for
you were
Portland International
nasty.
Airport,
You were
an
nasty
airport that
today.
did nothing wrong to
And
you.
I don't know if I love PDX, but I've never flown international in or out, bro.
Well, now you know you can.
Yeah.
Well, now you know you can.
I'm sure that's not expensive.
To
as
Reykjavik,
fuck.
Iceland, Tokyo, Japan.
DIA is
So
more
many places.
international than PDX. Sick of this.
I appreciate the W, y'all, and I just want to
No, you don't get a speech when you win.
Yeah, I don't really care what you have to say.
I just want to say thank you guys so much for letting me play the game. And I was getting sick of this. I was going to quit at the end of this one if I didn't win this one, but I decided to stay
That's
because
how we
I'm
hooked.
back,
Yeah, Adam
baby.
and I had a little chat before we recorded, and we were
I am
like, "It's
back.
clear he needs the W." So enjoy it. Well, Marty, thank you for writing in. We hope you and your lustrous locks enjoy what's left of America. You can tell people down the road you saw it right before the end.
It's not Marty's hair; it's all the smoked salmon, your locks that you're traveling with.
Yeah. Load up at the duty free when you land in PDX. We hope you have a great road trip wherever you go. Wherever you go, you'll end up with some stories here in America, and hopefully they'll let you leave when it's time to go. Remember, they can't make you put your password into your phone when you get to that gate. So make sure your phone is password protected. Don't use the biometrics because they can hold it up to your face. Free tip.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, we are here. What a great episode, Marty. Either way, if you do explore the West Coast and any of the areas we mentioned, you're going to love it. Those are great cities.
If you're listening to this and you have an issue you need advice on, we want to tackle it for you. Send us your letter. We will get competitive with our advice.
Also, Patreon subscribers, if you have thoughts or loops or things like areas you think that this person could see an idea, you chime in, please do so in the comments on Patreon. You can also message us on social media. We definitely love to hear your feedback on where you think
maybe
this
Marty
person-
should just drive around Mississippi, sweltering Mississippi for 16 days. Take it all in.
Maybe you should head down to a Red Roof Inn in Kissimmee, St. Cloud, Florida, and see if you can find yourself a little squirrel that you can hook up with in the elevator of a Red Roof Inn. Are those even a thing anymore? I don't know. Probably. Sounds
You
like
probably
it.
closed them down. They were like, yeah, some guy was cranking it in the pool.
As you get in and you look her in the eyes, just go, hey, let's see if this thing goes all the way to the roof.
Adam, I think we should probably end this episode soon because I think you've.
Let's see if this thing goes all the way to the roof.
Well, that was a great episode. Again, thank you, Marty. What do you guys got? What do you got coming up? Adam, what do you got? You got plugs? You got things to plug? What's happening with you?
Yeah, I'm looking, and I found it, and here it is. I'm doing a headlining show at the Denver Comedy Underground, great little venue, and I'm doing it on June 5th. I've been working on a lot of new material, and that's what the Grawlix is about. All of us write a bunch of new material, and it's kind of congealing into an hour, and I'm finding the hour. It's taking a great shape. What an exciting time to be alive as an ACH fan, to watch this part of the process. I think the true heads love this part. And I think they're going to love seeing it on June 5th at the Denver Comedy Underground, to watch my process.
Great. Well, thank you.
To watch my process.
Thank you, Adam.
As the new stuff really connects.
Well, thank you, Adam. That was more than we.
If it wasn't me on stage, I'd be buying a ticket to this. I'll tell you that.
I will be headlining Comic Sense. That is in Boulder, Colorado. I will be there June 5th through June 7th. I will be there. That is beneath the Hotel Boulderado.
It's a fun spot.
It is. It's
about as intimate of a comedy venue as you're going to get.
It's so great. Little speakeasy, comedy speakeasy in the Hotel Boulderado. You should come down and see me. You guys will love it. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time. Andrew, what do you got?
I got the
Hold on. If you had any comic sense, you'd get those tickets now for Ben's show.
Thank you,
Adam. Worth the interruption.
If you had any comics sense.
If you're listening this the week it comes out.
Show notes.
This weekend, this Saturday, the last Saturday of every month, guess what? It's Grawlix time. We're doing it at the Bug Theater. We're bringing in Pat Bircher from New York City.
So funny.
He's hilarious. We've got Jack Comstock. It's going to be great. The tickets are moving, so grab yours. Don't miss out on another Grawlix. And the three of us will be doing a brand new 10 minutes like we always do.
Boy, I got to get to writing that. Jesus Christ.
Ooh, I better get out there and have something bad happen to me. That's how I get my bits. I just go out into the town and wait till something bad happens to me, and then I talk about it on stage.
That's how I fish my bits.
Yep. So thank you, Marty, for writing in. Thank you to all of you who support us. Thank you to Ronnie D for producing this podcast, to Mike Henderson of Plan 9 Sound for recording our live audio at the show. Thanks to Legal Pete's for sponsoring us so we could bring in special Grawlix guests. And thanks to Charlie Continental for that banger theme song.
Oh my God. I love Charlie Continental's theme work. This is a guy that is on fuego. He is in fuego. Everybody, Charlie has a new album out of his solo stuff that he has done it, and it's great. If you love that kind of snotty pop punk, check it out. Charlie Continental. You can just Google that and find that newest album. It's fantastic. It's on Snappy Little Numbers. You should check that out. Otherwise, we will be back next week with a brand new episode, and I will be picking the order because I hath won today. Play us out, Charlie. I'm going to go drive around the loop in Chicago because that was what they were asking for.
No, fuck, that was what I said.
That's fine. I think you're wrong 'cause I know I'm right.